You're listening to District of Dreams, a Changing the Dreaming actual play by Hallowed Haven Studios. Previously on District of Dreams, our motley found ourselves in front of a castle and faced with that most sinister of puzzles, a locked door. After several entry attempts, a riddle appeared on the lock, demanding a price to be paid, a cherished memory. Crook stepped forward and gave it his 4th birthday, where he had his first thrill of knighthood. And then, it was gone. The memory lost, but the gate opened. Inside the castle itself, we found there was a strange familiarity. Even in its disrepair, something in us remembered this place. Of course, Elodie claimed the throne, only to feel the weight of a crown on her head. Reality was reshaping itself to our will. Suddenly, we were confronted by a ghostly knight who offered us a choice. Will you walk the path of kings or the road to ruin? Elodie chose the path of kings. We followed that path to an old battlefield where visions of war still flickered. Elodie, drawn by the echoes of combat, charged in, but the battle wasn't just a memory. Crook took the blow meant for Elodie and fought back in spite of his injury. Thankfully, a little Wayfair cantrip got him out before things could get worse. Desperate for a place to rest, our motley tried to run as glamour awoke the rest of the battlefield around us. It was again Sir Crook who came to our rescue. He guided us through the forest and to a clearing that had a strange pool in it. It showed Elodie and I visions of our pasts and maybe our futures. After a night's rest, we awoke to another of the dreaming's challenges. Crook would not wake up unless we gave him our secrets. One by one, we offered our own hidden truths, breathing life back into him. And suddenly, Crook woke up, gruff as ever, and he immediately swore vengeance on anyone who would dare think less of Elodie. He told her she was one of his favorite people, and not to let anyone tell her different. I hope she takes that to heart.
Hello. I'm Bookkeeper, and I'm playing Sir Crook, the Wilder Redcap. Both of our pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Hannah Marie. I'm playing Elodie Blight, the Claricon Changeling. Her pronouns are she, her. My pronouns are she, they.
Hi, I'm Allison, and I play Byrne, a sulky wilder. My pronouns are she, they, and her pronouns are she, her.
Hello, I'm Rob Davies. I will be playing Rowan Parsons, a boggin grump. Both her pronouns are he, him.
Hello, I'm Madam Ava. I play Sigrun Spellman, the Salua Grump, and we both use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I will be your storyteller for the evening. Hello, players.
Hi.
Hello.
You are standing in the very same clearing that you all fell asleep in the night before. You have been here, you're not entirely sure how long, certainly long enough to get tired, though those of you who have even 1 or 2 dots in kenning are very well aware that the dreaming time here can be weird. So while it may feel like it's been 12, 14 hours to you, it could have very well been days, weeks, months in the autumn world. What are you all up to?
I think we need to have a team meeting. I'm so sorry.
Yes, that's all right by me.
Elodie.
Yeah.
Sigrun.
That's fine with me. I just simply... That's fine.
What?
It was more... Is this a team meeting for everyone in general or a team meeting for particular people?
Everyone.
Making sure.
Just fucking talk already.
While they're discussing this, I've started to look around the clearing for the most comfortable place for all of us to sit. But then when Crook says what he says, I immediately stop and just go over to talk to the group.
All right. I think we really have to discuss what we're doing here anymore.
We need to find Kira.
That is what we came to do.
That's the entire point. That's the only goal. And I feel like we keep getting really close to it and then nothing.
Exactly.
You think the dreaming's playing keep away?
I think we have to have a better solution to finding her than just walking.
Oh, did you bring your missing princess detector?
Deeply unhelpful, Crook.
So that's a no.
I
Georgie.
believe when it comes to the dreaming, we can't operate as actuality does, what is deemed normal. Getting to point A to point B does not actually operate in the same way here. It's like getting to point A and then point 12 and then back to north and then to B. So perhaps it is more of a changing of perspectives.
You are quite right, of course. I keep forgetting that. I keep losing my focus. I keep failing. For this, I am very sorry.
Hey, you haven't failed at shit. We're still here. No one fails till we're done. You don't fail till you quit.
Well, then, I do not intend to quit.
There you go.
Not yet, anyways. Not until the dreaming gives me no choice.
Now, We all had visions of a round table and nightly bullshit, so I started to try and drag us toward a lake.
It's a good call.
You think we're gonna get the sword there? Like in the myth?
I don't think we're going to get the sword. Doesn't feel like that kind of story.
But perhaps it gives us answers, similar to how the sword, in its own way, is answers. Like mentioned before, it's a matter of changing perspective. I think the Lady Kira was more involved with the prophecy than what either she is willing to accept or what we may have assumed. And so because she may be tied to the prophecy and all the things that have happened so far in regards to it, it may be causing the dreaming to conflate some things. So finding Kira, the ergo, has turned into potentially a quest in regards to finding answers in regards to that. So continue following the dreams and the visions.
Georgie, did you have some idea to expedite things?
Not yet. Anything I can think of that would be helpful is unfortunately going to be in the Autumn world, not here.
We can't leave without Kira.
And
We
we
don't
can't
know
leave
that she's
without
here.
hearing. We don't.
She is.
No,
The wisp was leading us.
The wisp
and
came in here. That doesn't mean she stayed here.
That could be true. There's not a lot of strong ability to verify if she's still in here or not. We can only hope that we find answers guiding towards that.
all of this isn't for nothing. We're not just chasing our tails while Kira's sitting at the coffee shop waiting for us to come back, because that's not how stories go. In stories, the group sweeps in and saves the fair maiden, and then they all go home.
I mean, it'd be real funny if she was.
These were creatures of shadow that brought Lady Kira in here. What if we went towards darker locales anytime we should encounter them? Places where shadows are, places where they thrive. I know that sounds incredibly dangerous, but...
Above the table, ST, are we at the lake yet?
You are in the clearing with the little reflecting pool, but you are not at the lake yet.
Let's go see if the lake has a shady spot.
Very good.
I would like anybody other than Rowan, because this was his idea, to make who has kenning, or no, Greymare, sorry, who has Greymare, to make me an intelligence and Greymare roll.
I can try. You said intelligence.
0 successes.
Two successes.
Never mind.
Damn.
Oh, poor
That's
Sigrun.
terrible.
Good lord, a pool of 7.
Wait, that happened to 3 of us. That's rude.
That seems like the dice are
Damn
trying to
rude.
tell a story. Everybody but Crook just completely failed, not botched, but failed that roll. That's wild. Okay.
Behold the power of intelligence too.
Crook. When Rowan says, I know that sounds dangerous, it doesn't just sound dangerous. It sounds, I hesitate to say stupid, but it sounds a little bit stupid. You guys, you have heard about creatures of nightmare. You know that they're real, you know that they're out there, you know that they are dangerous to you. You also know that they can travel the dreaming just as easily as you can, except that there are certain trods that they can't walk on. The problem is that if you're away from the trods that they can't walk on, at least not they can't walk on safely, you have no protection. It's a little bit of a wonder that you haven't run into anything really bad because you haven't really been on a trod this whole time.
We have been really lucky that we haven't run into a nightmare yet. That some fucking nasty chimera hasn't come out and just bitten one of us in half.
You were almost bisected yesterday.
Almost. And if it had been any of you,
The concern of going into the shadow was mainly, well, I understand why you suggest this. It
was a foolish idea.
it's more so I'm more curious that they would not keep to it. I feel like this is a situation where if they still have Kira, they would want to keep her safe. And the shadows, that is not where people are safe.
Rowan.
Yes.
I say this as someone who taught undergrad. There's no such thing as a stupid idea in the dreaming, and I've heard a lot of really stupid ideas.
Thank you.
The thing I am struggling with on all of this is that it does feel like we're moving aimlessly, even knowing that the dreaming will help us along or not, depending on how we vibe with it.
Georgie, do you not dream that much?
I do.
Because that's just it. Dreams don't follow plans or follow a specific timeline. It's like, I point at the pool. It's like water. It flows until it finds a place where it all settles. You know? We gotta go with the flow. We can't fight against the current because it's too strong, so we gotta follow the current. But I think where we have been hitting roadblocks is when we stop and try to intellectualize something that's not intellect. It's raw feeling and emotion.
Okay. How about this? Team meeting in recess until we get to the lake. If a hand clad in white samite comes popping up and waving at us and pointing in a direction, we'll listen to it. If not, meeting will get back into session and we can argue this some more.
I like the sound of that.
Sure.
Elodie shoves her hands into her pockets, moody teenager style, and starts walking in the direction indicated.
Stop pouting.
I'm brooding, not pouting.
Why are you brooding?
Elodie does not answer.
Elodie's in trouble.
I quickly
Sigrun's
make
gonna
sure
just start
that
stalking.
I quickly make sure that Crook's bed is made before I leave the clearing.
Crook's bed of moss and leaves.
100%. What kind of boggin do you think I am?
That's hilarious.
Rowan,
Sorry, just doing my job.
hey, Rowan,
And I
you got a
rush to catch up.
half a muffin left?
Do I, Storyteller?
You are kind of at the dregs of what was brought, but you have enough for everybody to have a little bit of a nibble, and that's about it.
I'll share what I have, but unfortunately, it's not much. I'm very sorry. And I start dispersing what I have.
And when Crook takes it, looks at Rowan and says, "Thank you."
Rowan smiles and says, "It's my pleasure."
So what's the plan, guys? I know Elodie is brooding and walking off in one direction, and Sigrun was stalking her. Sigrun, are you gonna do anything, or are you just being spooky?
Spooky, but also planning a prank because I feel like this just went into the realm of vengeance as needed.
Excellent. Love this. Creepy Aunt Sigrun is about to do something awful. It's gonna be great.
Trying to figure out which way to the lake.
Okay.
She can multitask.
Elodie, you're kind of in the lead since you decided to stalk off on your own. Are you following a rhyme or reason, or did you just set off in a random direction?
I am setting off, trying to keep to as well lit and well quote unquote trod paths, even though we are not on a path. And Elodie is really trying to be a little more serious about this, but at the same time understanding that the dreaming wants them here, the dreaming will put them where they need to be, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll even say out loud to the dreaming, "I'm really trusting you here. And I need you to not make me look stupid."
Roll me your total glamour, please. Crook, I would like you to roll me. Let's go perception and Greymare, please.
3 successes.
Nothing.
Oof. Those ones have it out for you guys tonight. Okay. So Crook, you kind of pause and you're looking around because it was you who was trying to use their glamour to shape the dreaming. It was you that was trying to use your glamour to shape the dreaming around you last time. To get to the lake. And you could tell that something happened, but you weren't sure what or where it would show up. You just know that it wasn't like you had no impact on the dreaming at the time. And you're still kind of in that place where like instinctively you know something happened, something's going on, but you don't really know what. And Elodie, you kind of put your whole back into it as you are like thinking about what's happening around you, and you're putting all of your faith in the dreaming, and you're hoping against hope that everything that you guys have been shown, everything that you guys have been through has been for a purpose and not just, random circumstance, because you ended up because you went through a wild portal and the dreaming is weird. You are the first person to recognize that the dreaming is moving around you. and reshaping itself while you walk. You could feel that the rest of your motley is behind you, that they are following you, if only because they're afraid that they will lose you if you just stalk off on your own. But you can feel this kind of pulse that almost feels like it starts at your feet and it travels out through the ground in all directions around you. And you glance up at the sky and watch as what was a clear, bright, sunny morning rapidly goes from that into like time is moving backwards. Like you watch the sun that has barely begun to rise immediately begin to set. And it is like there is a reversal in the cosmos above you. You watch as strange star formations are formed in the sky above you that you've never seen before. And the gentle glow of silvery moonlight touches your skin just in time for you to press past the edge of a stand of trees in front of you. And you find yourself standing in or not in a clearing, but at the edge of a forest, and looking out into a valley that is surrounded by these tall mountains. There is mist that is rolling over the ground, comes up to like not quite your knees. And you can just barely make out the glitter of something reflective at the bottom of the valley. But with all of the mist, it is hard to tell exactly what it is. Could be water, though.
She heaves kind of a relieved huff and just, I'm gonna trust you here. I swear to God, if this is some kind of water monster, I'm gonna be real bummed about this.
You all follow Elodie as she presses through a bunch of tree branches and find yourself standing on the edge of a forest looking down into a valley with mist rolling over the ground and tall mountains in the distance.
I look
Sure.
for a maiden's arm clad in samite.
Well, you guys are a ways away from the little glitter of reflected light. So even if there was an arm sticking out of water there, you're far enough away you couldn't actually tell.
Fair enough. Okay. Shall we continue on?
Don't let the runt get too far ahead of us.
George
I
actually
heard that.
George actually
Good.
picks up the pace as like, that's water, that looks good, yay.
Very well. I continue on.
As you Sigrun, are you following?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, continuing on the way.
Okay.
Plotting.
Plotting. Gotcha. As you all move closer, you are able to see the edges of water, and you realize that this is a lake, but it is a massive lake. You can't really see the other side. Not clearly. You know that there has to be one because you see mountains in the distance. But between the mist and how large it is hard to tell where the lake ends. You do notice as you draw closer that what you thought was just kind of shadows formed by the mist as you look out over it, that there seems to be a stand of trees that seem to be maybe growing up out of the middle of the lake or are part of an island. It's hard to tell. Assuming that you all get close enough to actually like get a good look at the water itself, the water is perfectly glass-like smooth. There is no movement. And it reflects a kind of mottled reflection of the moonlight above, you assume, because the mist is obscuring a lot of that light. But it makes the mist itself kind of glow almost silvery. Beautiful and picturesque, and there is the scent of apples and honey on the air.
Would it be
And-
possible to find the source of that scent of apples and honey?
One could probably guess that it might be coming from that stand of trees that's coming up out of the water. At the very least, the apple scent is probably coming from there.
Georgina is moving like unconsciously faster as we get closer to the lake.
Elodie's still got her hands shoved in her pockets, her shoulders kind of hunched, and she is approaching the actual water.
Okay. Well, you will be the first person to reach the edge of the water, because you were at the front of the line. Are you doing anything in particular when you get there?
I'm gonna nudge at the edge with my sneaker. And Elodie did grow up going to church every Sunday, wondering if this is a Jesus moment where they're gonna just walk right across, because clearly there's something in those trees. Specifically, if they were to be any more, if the dreaming were to be any more, hey, this way, it would be like a cartoon where the apple smell fumes kind of turn into a beckoning finger. So that's their assumption. When you feel drawn to something in a dream, you don't even have a conscious choice of going toward it. You're just there, you know?
You use the tip of the toe of your shoe and you kind of tap at the water and it splashes. It is not solid. You do, however, notice that while there should be ripples that go out from you for a ways, you get the tiniest little ripple and then it goes fully still again. Like immediately.
Okay, I guess we're looking for a boat.
Georgie like skids to a stop at the edge of the lake, and has Elodie ever swum with Georgie before?
Probably at least once. It's been a few years that they've known each other.
She's stopped and like looking at the water and trying to decide if it is worth getting in.
Georgie.
Yeah.
Perception and Greymare, please. Well, No, let's do Wits and Greymare. Sorry.
That's worse.
Sorry. This will be a difficulty. Let's do a difficulty 4.
I'm like trying to think of. I was like looking at my merits. Like, can I get away with anything?
No.
It's fine. 3 successes.
That's good. This is the roll that you want to roll really well on. Thankfully, you're a Selkie. You have instincts when it comes to water. This water isn't normal. This is not the kind of water you want to just charge into. The part of you that is aware of the part of you that is animal has that deep driving animal instinct that makes you go from I could be the predator in these waters to I would probably be the prey in these waters.
Georgie looks deeply sad.
Georgie's like, I just want to get in all of the water in the dreaming, and that's what the dreaming is just like
to swim.
The dreaming is like, now water here isn't normal. It's never just normal, Georgie.
Yeah, Georgie, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's so bad. It's a bad lake, and I'm just want to swim.
What is everybody else doing now that you've all reached the edge of the water?
Bad how?
I don't know how to describe this in a way that makes sense. Like there's red caps in it. Maybe. You know how like in the ocean there's not really a like there's no the chance of you getting bit by a shark is like never 0 because like that's where they live.
Sure.
I just drop a pebble into the surface to show him how it doesn't have the normal surface tension of water.
It also does that.
Crook.
Yeah.
Wits and empathy, please. Holy cow.
4 successes.
4 dice,
God
4 successes. Damn, Crook.
I'm sorry. Drop the last die off of that. I am forgetting I have a wound penalty, so 3 successes.
That's still really good for only 3 dice. You're kind of like, kind of brushing off the description a little bit that Georgie is giving you. And then you have this intense, it's almost deja vu, except that nothing around you looks the same. It's just the deep gnawing feeling at the core of who you are. There is a moment where you feel like the first time you were put behind bars when you were much, much younger and you were not as able to protect yourself. Where every moment you felt like you were being hunted. It's fleeting, but it's there.
Crook lunges slightly, coming down closer to everyone else's height, and grabs his morning star with both hands.
Yeah, that.
Sigrun, are you doing anything?
I think she's just observing right now.
Rowan?
I was going to go looking for a boat, but seeing what everyone else is looking at right now, that causes him to hesitate. He says, if If we are going to survive here, we are going to need something to eat sooner or later. But if we don't feel that crossing the lake would be advisable or safe, then perhaps we should look elsewhere.
Wait, Rowan, haven't you read a bunch of fairy tales?
I wrote a bunch of fairy tales.
You're not supposed to eat food from under the hill. That's how you get stuck there forever. It's like the underworld thing, but it's fairies.
Well, true. It would also not do for us to starve.
Rowan,
Yes.
you are reminded, as Elodie says this, that you took and ate an apple.
I did indeed. Do I feel any different after doing that?
Well, you didn't, but now that you think about it, there's a kind of weight forming in your gut. Where there's a little inkling of dread. You're like, I don't know what that means, but it probably isn't good.
The apple. I don't know if I'm going to be safe to be around.
What?
When I asked the trees where Lady Kira had gone when we first came into the dreaming, one of them provided me with an apple. And I ate it.
Oh.
I have this terrible knot in my stomach now.
It's probably fine. It's
God damn it, Rowan, you're supposed to be the one with the experience.
Hey, stop it. I don't want you doing that. And not because, it'll make me scared, or because you need to be strong, but because I don't want you feeling bad.
Feeling bad is part of the emotional spectrum. If I did not feel bad, it would be disingenuous. And that is not something that I want to be.
Well then, take your sadness, accept it, and use it as growing and learning. Just wallowing in it will not help you and will not help us. You are newer to these types of situations. Don't let a moment of faltering be considered absolute failure.
And not to steal your thunder, but I've been Kinane my whole life, and I may have eaten the whole cart of apples yesterday.
That's a really gross thing to say. Knowing what you did and saying that's pretty... I don't want to hear that.
I'm going to own up to my own mistakes, and that's I've made a mistake, so it's fine.
You weren't aware what she was referring to when we met. Okay, never mind.
Yes.
We share an apartment. I have noise canceling headphones, and that's not enough. So I don't want to hear about this. Not on vacation.
I just wait. I'm going to ignore the fact that you consider this a vacation for a moment.
I don't have a lot of money. I can't go on vacation, so I take what I can get.
Thank you, Elodie. I needed a laugh.
Anyway, we can talk about anything else.
Right.
We need to get to those trees. Irregardless of food or anything else like that, That's clearly where we need to go. This is it's like a video game.
I would like to point out that there is something dangerous in this area,
Yeah.
and that
Us.
you don't think the
Look.
dangerous thing is on an island in the middle of the lake, so it doesn't?
I felt it too, but you know what? If this is any kind of story, we don't get anywhere by going around the dangerous things.
I would like everybody to make me perception and alertness, please.
Detail oriented.
No.
Got it.
Damn. Oh, well, no, that's fine. I got 3.
2.
2.
1.
Excellent.
I see everything.
You all are talking, and Crook makes the fair point that in the stories, the story never progresses if the heroes just decide to go around or ignore the obviously dangerous thing. And as that is happening, you all realize you don't know how long this has been like this, or that how long ago the dreaming shaped itself to allow for this vision to be there, but you were all very suddenly aware that there is a figure standing about 5 to 7 feet away, standing on the water, or maybe in the water, but they are only up to about their ankles. What you are seeing is a feminine figure draped in kind of flowing, almost gossamery fabric. It looks like a gown that has been under water for ages, because it is just sort of draped around them instead of flowing the way that it should. They have long, kind of pale, silvery white hair that is down well past their knees, and a face that seems somehow youthful and ancient all at once. And that Elodie in particular, it kind of reaches into your chest and squeezes your heart a little bit. Because this figure has Kira's face. And a pair of kind of silvery blue eyes are just watching all of you.
As soon as Elodie recognizes the face, she cannot help but take a step forward.
Into the water?
Gonna reach. No. Sigrun's gonna instinctively grab forward if she sees Elodie move, because she's relatively close to her.
Her sneaker does step into the water, but 1 foot on land, 1 foot on water.
Your sneaker kind of graces the surface of the water and is about to settle down into the water itself when Sigrun's hand snaps out, grabs your shoulder, and begins to pull you back.
Not yet.
But look at her.
She may have Kira's face, but we do not know if it's Kira. The
What do you
dream
want,
plays tricks.
What do you want, Soggy Galadriel?
Crook!
The woman in the lake takes a couple steps forward. Every step, her dress clings to her legs, but flutters towards the back, letting the density of the lake kind of carry it like it is a like it's a train on a wedding dress. She eyes every person who is in front of her, slowly and surely. And then when she reaches a point, that is a comfortable distance between herself and the group, she makes eye contact with every one of you for just a moment, and then moves on to the next, and to the next, until she reaches the end of the line. You have made it. It is good to see that you walk the path to your next destination.
Where's Kira?
I do not have an answer that will satisfy you, unfortunately. In order for you to get to where you need to go, it is a long path. The dreaming is beautiful and dangerous.
You're right. That didn't satisfy me. Who are you and what do you want?
I am a guardian, a guide, a friend, and an ally. I am here to be sure that you are ready to face the dangers that come your way. And I am here to make sure that you do not that you are not lost. You seek you seek the one lost to the dreaming, but you cannot walk its path as you are. Fear binds you as tightly as iron, and a heart divided cannot find the way. Only those who walk as one will find the path ahead and stray, and the dreaming will take you.
You clearly haven't met us.
Did she just tell us that the answer is friendship?
It is the fear that binds you, that holds you back from your task.
Fear of what?
The unknown, the future, the known. Any of those things, I imagine.
Fear is how you stay alive.
Elodie kind of puffs out her chest a little bit. I'm not afraid of anything.
Liar.
I'm not. Isn't that your problem? That I don't think? I'm brave.
So you
I'm
ran
not
away.
scared of anything.
So you ran away from me for funsies?
I wasn't scared, I was smart.
Liar.
Do you wish to find your path to the one that you are searching for? The one who is lost?
We do.
And she smiles, and she reaches out a hand.
Rowan will accept it.
And this figure, this lady, gently guides him into the water.
Rowan, as you begin to follow this figure into the water, you notice a couple of things. The first is that while she seems to be walking on some sort of surface that is just below the edge of the water, almost like the water is only about an inch deep. Not so much for you. You realize that with every step that you take in, you are sinking further and further in, as if you were walking out into a deep lake.
My poor shoes.
Is anybody following?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going. I'm not scared of nothing.
Sigrun?
What is the equivalent of insight or vibe checking this, just as a precaution?
What are you trying to vibe check exactly?
If this is,
Are you trying to vibe check the figure that you've been talking to, or are you trying to vibe check the situation?
I think the situation more than anything, because I think she can still glean information of the person based off of what she knows from this. But she wants to know if this is another one of these challenges that they have been going through along the way, or is this someone who is genuinely coming to them as like a guide? So what is the situation like what exactly is the situation?
Perception and empathy, please.
Perception, empathy. And I'll willpower that.
Okay.
To success.
So you were told when this figure showed up and everyone started asking questions that they are a guardian and also a guide. You were also told that you all needed to address your fears in order to continue on, and to not be taken by the dreaming. You suspect that this is kind of both, that this person is here to help you, but part of helping you is testing you.
Mm-hmm. My lady, I please do not take this as indifference or insult for not readily following. But I know not to always trust the dreaming and what happens in it. And I wish to trust your words. What guidance can you provide in such a challenging place as is the dreaming?
And she stops walking and she turns to face Sigrun. If you step into the water, you'll receive all of the guidance you will need. Your question will be answered. To take that first step, like your friends around you, begins to break that chain of fear. There is trust among allies. I mean you no harm.
I thank you for answering my query once again. I mean no insult for it.
And she's going to step closer to Sigmund and just reach out her other hand.
She'll take it, and she has manners, so she'll at least kind of bow to that, bow the head.
All right. You are all led into the water. This figure does begin to sink down into it as you all get further out, so that they are closer and closer to being on level with all of you. And then as you get to the point where to look and see who it is, I think one of you, if I remember correctly, has a distinct fear of deep water. I think it might.
That's me.
I was like, I think it might be Elodie. Elodie.
But I'm being very brave.
Elodie, would you like to roll me a willpower roll, please?
Yes.
This is going to be difficulty 8.
Two
Okay.
successes.
You are able to steel yourself against the panic that comes as the water is up around your shoulders. And you instinctively, all of you, know that you have hit the edge of a drop-off. Another step and you will go under.
Anyone that is near Elodie will hear her whispering to herself, "It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Take my hand, Runt.
I'm fine."
I wasn't asking.
I step off the edge.
Fuck.
Because I can be brave all by myself. I can do it.
Elodie plunges under.
I go immediately after her. Sorry.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there.
Those who wish to throw themselves after are perfectly able to do so. Those who might hesitate for a second, like what the fuck just happened, find themselves getting pulled under in the same second. Like you have a moment of what the, and then you're under.
There's a moment where Crook starts to,
You all feel yourself being covered and swallowed by this kind of frigid water. As this happens, you find yourself no longer underwater. No longer underwater. Instead, you are all standing, soaked to the bone, on the deck of a wooden ship. Around you, you are surrounded by a storm-tossed sea. There is thunder and lightning cracking above you. The lightning splits the sky every so often and lights everything up, only to plunge it back into darkness immediately afterwards. Elodie, you are there and you are aware of the people around you, and you have the vague memory of someone telling you to take their hand and you not doing it. A moment before you are thrown violently overboard and into the water. And it immediately begins to feel like it is grabbing you and dragging you under.
Can I go in after her?
Same.
Hold on. We're going to let Elodie react, because this is her thing.
So I remember the context.
Kinda. You
Okay.
remember something is going on, but it's kind of hard to remember what, because you were immediately plunged into like one of your worst fears.
Would I be able
It is like
to
the ability to think super clearly is stolen from you as fear grips you.
Okay, yeah, that's my question. Would I be able to make some kind of willpower roll to remember the basics of water safety as you learn as a wee child? Like anything to calm myself, because that'll change how I react.
No.
Okay.
As you are in the water and you find yourself, I'm assuming that you are trying to like kick to swim and all of that other stuff.
Yeah, trying to tread water as best I can.
The harder you fight to try and get your head above water, it feels like the deeper you get pulled. And as that happens, and as the rest of you all have that split second of recognizing what just happened, that Elodie got swept overboard, you all hear a voice in the backs of your heads.
A lifeline is made of many fibers.
Now, we are going to go down the list and see what people are going to do. Crook.
Crook, there are, it's a storm-tossed ship. Is it a sailing vessel of some sort?
It is.
So there's rope.
There is.
Crook will wrap some rope around himself. Go, make a line. Next.
Georgie.
Georgie is in the water after Elodie, and her coat is on, mid-jump.
Okay. Rowan. Georgie has jumped in after Elodie. Crook is telling people to tie themselves off.
I feel like good sense would have taken over when he saw Georgie going in after Elodie, because of course Georgie would be the better one to do a rescue than Rowan. So he's gonna follow Crook's direction and find some rope to tie himself off.
You get the feeling
I'm
he
sorry.
wants you to tie yourself off with the same rope he's on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should clarify. I'm trying to make a line of people.
I see. Okay. So yes, I will follow that direction to the best of my ability.
Sigrun.
I am going to follow suit, but can I also do a squirm and move some of my body weight to the bottom of my feet to make myself heavier, like put like more weight into my feet, kind of like concrete feet?
You could certainly try.
Try that.
Also, you.
I must say,
Look.
why am I imagining Sigrun just not touching the rope and not helping, and then laughing low and looking at Elodie and just saying, haha, pranked.
No, she only does the malicious ones to people she doesn't like.
Sigrun, are you planning to tie yourself off with the others?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's just extra security with the on concrete feet.
Okay. Georgie, I would like you to describe for our audience, as Georgie's coat goes on and you are sailing through the air towards the water below the ship, I would like you to describe what Georgie's seal form looks like, please.
So Georgie gets her skin from her grandmother's side, and her grandmother's Selkie line has lived in California since before it was America, or even before it was Mexico. So the seal skin that she has is actually that of a California sea lion, which are, so she's actually longer and taller than a seal would be, and is pretty unremarkably looking brown if you're just glancing at her. Along the sides, you could mistake her for some sort of leopard seal instead, because some of her vitiligo has sort of made its way onto the coat in little lighter brown patches. But in this form, you can really tell that the color of her skin, the color of her hair, which is all sort of that same light brown, really is just what she looks like as a sea lion.
All right. You break the surface of the water and plunge under into ice cold depths that temperatures that should bother you, but given what you are, don't for the moment. You can see Elodie's form. She is kicking and flailing and struggling under the water, and it's like the harder she fights, the deeper she goes. And you attempt to swim after her. And something strange happens. This form is as natural to you as breathing. Swimming is like walking when you are in your human form. Everything should be easy. This should be simple for you, but somehow the faster and the harder you swim towards Elodie, the further away she gets.
I'll stop swimming and let myself just move with the current now.
She doesn't get any further, but she doesn't get any closer either. Would you like to make a check to see if you can figure out what's happening?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Make me a wits and empathy roll, please.
Standard difficulty?
Yes.
Dang it.
What'd you get?
All right, that was more looking. Oh, 2 successes.
Okay. You in your confusion and your frustration, find yourself at a loss of what to do. The closer you try to get, the further away she ends up. The harder you fight, the worse this gets. And then you think back on what the figure said to all of you. A heart divided cannot find the way. Only those who walk as one will find the path ahead. And you realize that Elodie went in and everybody else started doing something to work together, and you just jumped in by yourself. The point of this may be that you all have to work together to save Elodie from herself.
There's an audible seal huff. I'm gonna head back to the surface.
Okay. You all finish tying yourselves off just in time to see a seal head pop up above the surface of the waves.
Okay, point of order. Can I talk in this form?
No, you are a seal.
Sea lion.
Sea lion, whatever.
Great. Sea lion's really fucking loud. I'm gonna yell.
you all hear sea lion sounds, loud sea lion sounds coming from the water below below where you are on the deck.
Please give us an approximation. I'm begging you.
No, let's not do that.
I'm not gonna peek the audio.
Throw her the rope.
I lower the rope. Well, actually, I'm not the one on the end, so it's probably not me that does it. But I will say, worst case scenario, I could use between the lines to understand sea lion.
You've got the idea.
Sigrun, are you going to lower the rope since you have the end?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, she will.
I love that Rowan literally pointed it out. You still overlooked that. You toss the rope.
It's more so head fog for me.
You toss the rope over the edge and into the water to where Georgie is. Georgie?
I will grab the rope in my mouth and start heading back to Elodie.
As you grab the rope and start swimming, Sigrun, you're tied to the rope that you just that you just threw in. You are now being pulled towards the water.
Does my squirming help at all?
Only if you want to get free.
Okay, she'll wiggle out of it.
Crook, you were going to say something?
Well, to quote Magic the Gathering, I have a response. I would like to turn to face away from the group, so I'm essentially like trying to tug to give us an anchor, and he will start shouting. It feels, he thinks it's singing, but in the storm it's more like shouting. Roll the old chariot along. I will try to use Bay and Scene to use Dragon's Ire to improve everyone's strength.
Oh, I need it. I'm a wimp.
All right. Make your roll there, guy.
Okay.
I will allow that bunk to give you let's say a negative 1.
Okay. That will be eaten right up by using Scene. So it's still diff 8. I will spend a point of willpower on this.
Okay. Don't forget, if you have Nightmare, to add your Nightmare dice. Aren't you lucky?
So far.
And don't forget that you are injured.
I am. Can I spend more than 1 point of willpower?
Nope.
In a roll?
No.
Okay.
You can either spend it to get rid of your negative, or you could spend it to get the auto success, but you can't do both.
At diff 8, I think I'll take the auto success.
Okay.
which will get me 1 success. So everybody gets +1 strength.
Woot.
Sigrun.
Me, yes.
Are you going to go over, or are you going to fight being pulled?
She's gonna try to fight. I doubt myself though.
Make me a strength and athletics check.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. I should just accept this, but oh well. Oh, well, just
Hey,
one.
1 success. Okay. You go sliding towards the edge of the boat. And are about to get pulled clear over the side when you manage to grab the railing just in time and catch yourself. I will say that you are smart enough, and being a slua, are familiar with how different types of knots work. Where you were able to tie yourself off with one of those knots that kind of slides and can be adjusted so it doesn't, cut you off at the waist.
Mhm.
And you manage to grab the railing with one hand, and the other hand sort of guides the rope through the knot so that it keeps sliding to give Georgie as much slack as you can. Now I'm going to need Rowan and Crook to also roll me strength athletics. If you do not have athletics, you just roll strength. Your difficulty, however, does not go up.
Now I will spend a willpower to ignore my wound penalties.
1 success.
And does my vice grip specialty apply?
Absolutely. I'm going to be real with you. When you took that specialty, I was concerned you'd never get to use it. And here we are. Oh, no.
Nope, never mind.
Okay. Wow, that's a pool of 7 and 0 successes. Cool. Cool. Not a botch. All right. Georgie.
Yes.
You plunge under the water, and it feels easier now. Like, working with the rest of your motley has alleviated one of the barriers to you accomplishing what you needed to accomplish. Elodie.
Hi.
I need 2 rolls, please. I am going to need a willpower roll at difficulty 9. And I am going to need a stamina and athletics roll.
Zero for willpower.
Great. You are panicking hard. Your stamina and willpower roll is going to be at difficulty 7. Oh dear.
So
That's
a botch.
That's a lot of. That's not a botch. Botch is if you don't roll any successes and you roll a 1. So it's a
I believe
failure.
It canceled out.
Okay, but you still have to not roll any successes for it to be a botch. It's just a failure.
Oh, okay.
If you roll successes, but then have enough ones to cancel it out. This is rough. Okay.
There's something wrong with this dice bot. I'm telling you right now. There are too many ones for this to be a coincidence.
You kick and struggle, and the panic grows. The harder you fight, the further you sink. and you can feel your lungs burning. You desperately want to breathe. Georgie?
Yes.
I'm not going to make you roll. You have spent all of your life in and around the water. You know what it looks like when somebody is drowning.
That's actually really helpful.
You can tell that Elodie does not have much time left. She is fighting this very, very hard, but that fight has effectively given her, it's making her panic, which means that she's going through more air than she can afford to lose.
I'm going to pull in some IRL knowledge, and which Georgie also would have, which we've as you've implied. The problem with rescuing a person when they are drowning is that they will fight you a lot of the time because they're panicking. So it's honestly sometimes best practice to wait till they stop moving, which is grim. And then you get about 40 seconds to get them up above the water again.
Is that what you're going to do?
So I'm going to get as close as I can and see if I can do it before she kicks me. And if she's going to keep fighting, I'm going to do my best. I'm pretty sure that I'm a stronger swimmer than her, so I could still push her up. Also, I think I'm bigger than her right now.
Oh yeah, I'm little.
You are certainly a stronger swimmer like this. And absolutely, at the very least, heavier than she is.
So
she didn't roll a botch on her willpower roll. So I'm going to say that she does not kick you. She does not look at you. She does not perceive you as a threat. And she's not flailing to such a degree that you couldn't attempt to get behind or under her to try and push her. But she is not clear-headed enough to see the rope to be able to grab it.
In which case, I'm just going to get under her and push up and start heading up so I can get her up to the surface, and we'll find the rope in a second.
Okay. Elodie.
Yo.
You have a choice. You can attempt another willpower roll to calm yourself down, to understand what's happening and to attempt to help yourself. Or you can take a level of damage.
I'll try the willpower roll to try and calm myself down.
All right, still at difficulty 9. Okay.
No successes.
Mark off 1 level of damage as you accidentally inhale some of the water. Thankfully, not a botch, so you haven't kicked Georgie. I need Crook, Sigrun, and Rowan to all make strength and athletics checks. As a reminder that 1 dot of strength has worn off because it only lasts for 1 round.
I think I'll throw a willpower on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 for Crook. A 1 for Rowan.
Success.
A 2 for Sigrun. Okay. Georgie.
Yes.
Make me a dex and athletics roll. And don't forget that your seal form gives you a reduced difficulty, so it's only a 4.
Dex and athletics?
Yes. This is to see how well you can maneuver Elodie while she is drowning.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no.
The dice are... I call foul. I call that the dice are trying to murder us.
That's a botch. That's bad. Okay.
I'm so mad. Can I willpower? Can you willpower reroll a botch?
No. I
have lucky.
You do have lucky. Then you can always re-roll. Just make sure that you make note that you were using up one of your lucky rolls.
I took it for this reason.
See, I also have it, but I think it's easier to drown.
Okay. I am going to use one of my lucky rolls for this. I'm going to throw myself into the ocean.
Well, you're already in the ocean.
Thought you did.
Well,
in real life.
That's not a botch, so it's not as bad as it could have been. It is hard to press a flailing, struggling human form up through the water. Even as graceful as you are, Elodie keeps shifting and flailing in just the right way that it's a little bit like this is going to sound awful. You know how in like cartoons occasionally you see like trained seals who have to balance like a ball on their nose?
Rude, but yes.
It is a little bit like trying to do that, except that the ball keeps moving and you're trying to swim at the same time.
I like how you said rude as if you are not being referred to as what you are and I'm not being referred to as a ball.
Sorry. Straight up, Elodie is about to take damage because I'm gonna bite her. Not hard.
No, do it. I've got what's it called? Increased pain threshold. I ain't gonna stop till I'm dead.
I mostly do it because I'm annoyed.
I'm not going to give you damage for that, Elodie. However, I am going to give you another level of damage because you're still underwater. But not only are you drowning, you pretty sure something just bit you.
Okay, I am hurt, but because I have pain threshold, I am operating as though bruised.
Okay. Georgie. Would you like to try again?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody above deck, you guys can feel that the rope is moving. But it's not in any like smooth, methodical way. You're not sure what's going on under the water.
2 successes.
Okay. 2 successes is good. That's much better. You manage to push and push and push. I have a question. You have the rope in your mouth. You are pushing Elodie damn near up to the surface. She's like inches away. How do you plan to get her up out of the water and onto the boat? Because she is so panicked that she hasn't noticed the rope.
I also don't have the rope in my mouth, actually, because I bit Elodie.
So you've let go of the rope?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're gonna fix that.
The flavor is killing us. And by us, I mean me.
I think I had to drop it so I could get to you.
No, I assumed you had it while you were grabbing her, while you were pushing her up. She just was so unaware that she hadn't bothered, like that she hadn't noticed it to grab it. I assumed that you had it, but if you're going to say that you dropped it so that you could bite her,
I feel like I should honor the fact that I did bite Elodie, but also that's chaos. Regardless, the plan is just to keep Elodie as close to the surface as possible and wait till she calms the fuck down.
Okay, give me another Dex and Athletics at difficulty 4. See if you can get her the rest of the way.
I like how you say calm the fuck down, like panicking in response to drowning is not a proportional response.
3 successes. Okay. Things are getting better. She is close enough, and you can see the moonlight above. Well, not the moonlight. You can see the flashes of lightning above, so you know how close you are to the surface. And you give one final push, and Elodie, your head breaks the water, and you can breathe. You're coughing and sputtering a lot, but you can breathe. You could also feel the waves crashing over you like they are trying to drag you back under. I would like for you to give me a perception and alertness, and remember that you are at a negative because of your damage levels.
I am not at a negative because of my increased pain threshold.
Right. No,
I
you said that. I apologize.
No, you're good. But I'm like, I remembered a thing because I wrote it down like a good student that I did basically today because I was stressed.
I have only been begging you guys to write down all of your stuff for weeks, so I'm glad that it finally happened.
Well, I had it written down, and then I had it written down somewhere that I wouldn't have. I wouldn't think to look. So I'm like, okay, we're writing this by hand, bitch.
Perception alertness. This is going to be a difficulty 7.
One success.
You get smacked in the face by a rope. It's heavy and sodden, but you feel it.
I'm grabbing onto that shit like the literal lifeline that it is.
Okay. You all on board the ship all feel the rope go taut. Sigrun, you actually kind of slide a little bit, like you had managed to back yourself up a little bit off the railing, and when it goes taut, it kind of catches you off guard, and you almost go sliding overboard.
Why do I have to be the last one? I have no strength. I hate this. Why can't I be near books? Oh! And no one can hear this lady at all. She wants to cry and yell so bad, but this is as loud as she can be, and no one can hear her.
I would like Sigrun and Rowan and Crook to all make me another strength and athletics roll, please.
I swear to God, if this succeeds again.
Before we do this, is there anything around me that is particularly heavy? I don't know, a cannon, an anchor, heavy things that would be on a ship.
Heavy is... There are things that aren't going to move much, if at all, unless something dire happens. Heavy is the wrong word. It's more that they're secured.
Secured. Yeah, you're right. So, I mean...
The big thing being the mast, which is where this rope is, ultimately tied off to.
Okay. So, tying it off further wouldn't help with that.
It is already tied off.
Okay.
I am going to assume that Crook is smart enough that he didn't just grab random unsecured rope.
No.
Fair. Okay, cool. I will roll then.
Also, you guys have been rolling so poorly that I don't need to jack up the difficulty that hard on you.
I'm spend a point of willpower. Crook is trying to drag himself towards the mast.
Okay.
Himself and everybody else.
Oh.
I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Wow. 001. Cool. Crook, you have the distinct feeling as you are attempting to pull and haul yourself towards the mast in an effort to drag Elodie up, or at least what you hope is Elodie based on the weight that you keep feeling on the rope. You almost have the sneaking suspicion that this might have just been easier for you to do on your own, because Rowan and Sigrun are struggling. They are both slipping and sliding. They keep falling in their effort to help create the counterbalance to whoever is pulling on the rope.
That's not we have waterlogged Galadriel at home said, so here we go.
Yes, someone said we have to work together.
You
but
do have to work
no.
together. That is the point. I'm just saying this is the impulse and the feeling that you have, all right? Don't come for me because the dice hate you. Elodie.
Sorry, I was telling a joke. Yes.
You could feel the faintest pull and tug on the rope above you, like someone is trying to haul you up, but they are struggling to do so. Would you like to try to climb up on your own?
Yes, because I'm strong.
You are strong. Okay. Strength and athletics, please.
What's the difficulty?
We'll say 7.
One success.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Georgie, are you attempting to help by pushing her at all?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Then I would like a strength and athletics roll, please.
Is my difficulty still reduced?
I will say that your difficulty is reduced by 1 because you're in the water, but not by the full 2 because that's really more for dex and maneuvering.
For sure.
1
success.
Okay. It takes time. It is a difficult haul. But eventually, Elodie, you manage to pull yourself up over the edge of the railing, and you flop onto the deck of the ship. Georgie, you reach up. You like let the seal form kind of fall, or your sea lion form kind of fall away, and you reach for the rope like you're about to pull yourself up, and you are suddenly not in the water anymore, or at least not in this water. You all have a moment to realize that you are all underwater, but the water is much calmer, and you no longer hear the crack of lightning and the roll of thunder. And you all could kind of glance around and look at each other in this kind of dark, silvery blue, watery surrounds.
Thank you for watching District of Dreams. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to follow for more of our content. You can find all of our actual plays on our website at www.hallowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hallowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible. Thank you.
You all are under the water. You have a brief moment to kind of look at each other and to realize that you are no longer on the ship. There is no longer a storm. Everything is calm. And weirdly, even though you are back underwater, Elodie, you don't feel panic. This is fine. And then the world shifts around all of you again. You find yourself standing, and as the water around you ceases to be water, it is instead replaced with rusted iron bars. And you are all standing in what you realize after a moment of dread is a dark, damp jail cell.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
And a voice echoes through the backs of your minds.
Strength alone in a cage without the key of trust.
Rowan immediately clocks Crook's discomfort and goes over to him and simply sits there at his level with a face that says, I am listening. He doesn't say anything. He just lets him know that there's someone there if he needs it.
Crook.
Crook. Yes.
I require a willpower roll, please. Difficulty 8.
Willpower rolls do not normally take wound penalties, do they?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Am I still injured?
Yes.
Rad.
3 successes.
Crook, you have the instinct to fight your way out, past and through everybody around you, but for the moment are able to keep that deep instinctive animal urge to basically destroy anything between you and freedom, including things that should be friendly. You manage to keep it in check, though you feel paralyzed to actually do anything for the moment.
Well, so what he kind of does is goes backwards, backs himself into a corner away from everyone else, shrinks down until he's basically just squatting in the corner, pulls down his hat over his eyes so that he cannot see where he is.
Okay. You all see this happen.
Rowan goes to Crook and says, it's going to be all right, Crook. We are going to get you out of here. We are all going to get out.
I made a promise. I broke my promise. She made me break my promise.
This is only a test.
Fuck her tests. I need my fear. Fear is what I fucking am.
You are more than that, Crook.
You know what I mean, Rowan. He pulls up his hat and looks at Rowan. You are the dream of people being at home, being snug in their beds, warm cookies, dreams of running around with no responsibility, looming in dark corners and hearing whispers swimming through the sea. Well, guess what? I'm the fucking nightmare. It's what I am. She can't have it.
She will not take it. You will not let her. That is the test. If we work together, we can get out of this. Does anybody know how to pick locks?
As that's happening, Sigrun wants to go over to the bars of the jail prison and touch it, see if maybe just to check to see if they're cold iron.
They're not.
Okay.
Well, I'm not able to pick locks, but I can try to squeeze my way through.
Brilliant. Yes, let's try that.
And if that fails, you're not allowed to ask why, but I can.
I
No
I
questions
wouldn't
asked in this moment.
I wouldn't really ask that question. I would just be curious if he can teach.
Sigrun,
Yes.
you are the only person I'm going to allow to make this roll because you have keen senses. I would like you to roll me perception and alertness, please.
Don't disappoint me.
Standard difficult.
Okay.
Or if keen senses lowers your difficulty, it would be lowered. I don't remember which one's which.
Let me check. It's reduced by 2.
Okay, so that makes it a 4.
Alertness is
2 success.
Okay. You hear multiple sets of footsteps of people walking at kind of a sedated, well-timed pace, like people are maybe patrolling.
well, if it is a jail, that would make sense. I hear measured steps. Couple of pairs of them.
Are they headed this way?
Does it sound like it's heading this way?
It sounds like it certainly will probably get to you at some point. You're
We
in
have
a
time.
space with a lot of metal walls and bars. The sound kind of echoes a little bit.
I believe we may have time, but it seems they're coming towards.
Perhaps we shouldn't try to escape just yet, then. Perhaps we can learn something.
Elodie looks at Crook and just, I don't think we should stay in here. I don't think we should stay in here at all.
I understand that this is causing great distress to Crook, but if we escape and we are caught, then security might increase on us the second time we are jailed.
Elodie, roll me wits
Yes.
and empathy. Standard diff.
The only thing a guard ever teaches you is how to hurt.
Zero successes.
Oof.
But, no, I'm not going to use lucky on that. I didn't use it when I'm just drowning. I'm not using it on a vibes check.
Georgie's going to sit next to Crook. She's like going to reach out to touch his hand. I don't know if if he recoils, she'll not pursue that.
That is a Crook question.
When he feels the touch on his hand, there's a twitch, and then he snaps it away and puts his hands inside his pockets in his coat.
Crook?
Yeah.
I take umbrage with the fact that you think that Selkies are just free swimming. We are both freedom and heartbreak. Claricon are joy and luck, and they are mischief. You could not just be fear.
Georgie is right. You are pain. You are retribution. You are the force that is required in times when force is the best answer. You are all of these things.
You've never been what scared me, Crook. I'm always just scared of letting you down.
There you are. How can somebody possibly look up to fear?
Clearly, you've never been to prison.
It was technically holding.
But I have an idea on her fucking little riddle.
By all means.
If this is supposed to be a trust exercise, I'm going to stay right here. The four of you get around, block their view. One of the guards is going to ask where I am. One of you is going to have to lie.
Ooh. Don't have it be me.
It
It hurts to lie.
It's the dreaming. They'll reward you for turning me in. They'll promise you stuff. But I trust you.
Crook,
Yep.
do you mean that?
Yes. I mean it enough. I'm switching courts.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Okay. There is a moment, Crook, where you say, I trust you. And you feel something inside of you, like a puzzle piece that never quite sat right. Felt jagged at the edges and like it always sort of dug into you a little bit. It feels like someone reached over, took it, and turned it. And when they did, all the pieces, all the jagged pieces suddenly fit into place and it didn't hurt anymore. You are still fear. You are still the thing that haunts people's nightmares and inspires kind of primal terror at their core. But you realize that as you trust in the people around you, that you are more than that. You begin to see yourself through the eyes of the people around you. And as that happens, the bars melt away. And you all find yourself again under that kind of cool, clean, silvery blue water, looking at each other, no one afraid of drowning, though aware that you can't stay under here forever. And then the world melts away again. And you find yourself standing in a library, or what looks like it might have once been a library. There are shelves of abandoned archives, rows of ancient tomes and scrolls that are actively in front of your eyes, beginning to disintegrate into dust. Sigrun, you are standing in the middle of it, watching as a book in front of you has words on its pages, and you can see your own name among the words. Like this is a letter. This is a story somebody wrote about you, or that was written about you, and you are watching as time begins to wipe it away into nothing, so that it is forgotten. And I need you to roll me a willpower roll at difficulty 8, please.
Which one am I rolling? I'm sorry.
Willpower, your total willpower at difficulty 8.
All right. Five, 8. 1 success.
Your hands tremble. Panic grips at you, but you manage to hold yourself together. Especially as you look up and on the other side of this archive that you find yourself standing in, there is a fire burning. Like someone has built a fire pit in the middle of the room, and you see a shadowy figure that is grabbing books and tossing them into the flames. And all you can think about is being forgotten. Part of you instinctively knows that all of these books and scrolls are about you. They're stories about you, and if they're all gone, no one will remember you. And that is when a voice echoes in the back of all of your heads.
Memory lives in all.
You all are standing around Sigrun. You could see her pupils have kind of dilated, her hands are shaking. She is holding herself together, but barely. And you can see the figure throwing books and scrolls into a giant fire.
It's truly a shame that history loves to repeat mistakes of knowledge lost due to the hubris and greed and ignorance of men. Even if it is something as simple as a memory of a person, a cruel fate it is.
Want me to break him?
What is lost can be found again, can be made anew. And I pull out my writing book and my pen, and I say, Crook, make sure that arsonist doesn't get at this, please. And I begin to write down the story of how I met Sigrun, and in as great a writer's detail as I possibly can, and basically try to replace at least part of what is being burned.
Okay. Roll me charisma and expression. Your specialty will apply.
Perfect.
I know it's not technically fiction because it did actually happen, but you're writing it like it's a story, so I will allow it.
I will take it. 1 success.
Wow.
I'm a writer, goddammit.
The ones have it out for you guys.
Yeah.
I need to look up how to reset this dice bot.
Okay. Make me a let's go. I would like everybody to make me a perception and alertness check except for Sigrun.
Does detail-oriented apply?
Yes. Three, 4,
Finally!
3, 2.
Two.
You all, as Rowan begins to write, you look up and you realize that there are the shelves around you. Books are beginning to reconstitute themselves as Rowan writes. It is only a handful of books, but it's happening.
I need more.
Keep writing.
Yeah. Elodie, tell me about your favorite memory involving Sigrun. And I start writing as Elodie relates the story.
My very favorite memory of Sigrun was the first time that I showed her my graphic novel. She might be the first person that I ever showed it to, and she said that it held great promise and then patted me on the head.
Oh.
That's wonderful.
Elodie?
Great, yes.
Charisma and expression. Difficulty 5.
I'm copying the story down and
3
trying to
successes.
embellish it as well.
Excellent. Rowan, as you write, you and everybody else can see that more books are beginning to reconstitute themselves, and that fire at the end of the hall is beginning to dim. You can see the shadowy figure is desperately grabbing things and trying to throw them and throwing them into the fire, but it is like they are reconstituting faster than it can move.
Georgie, do you have your favorite memory of Sigrun?
We all have to get really cool with a lot of stuff real fast. I had just I had just broken up with Ellen? I mean, I don't know, but it had not been a good relationship. But I still took it hard, and Sigrun found me moping outside the cafe and said, "Follow me." So we went to the market and purchased some large salmon. And then Sigrun showed me how to get fish into a car's AC system.
Georgie, charisma expression, difficulty 5, please.
Do you think I'm lying?
No, I said charisma expression, not subterfuge. This is to see how many successes you can contribute to the effort.
Three successes.
3, very good. Okay. You all watch as still more books and scrolls begin to reconstitute themselves. But it's still not quite there.
While these stories are going on, Crook is going to walk over to the arsonist.
Okay. It is a dark, shadowy figure. You cannot make out any specifics.
Okay. I will keep closing on it. Say, you should stop now.
It does not seem to stop. Or even notice you.
Okay. Whoever I am, I'm the bad thing that happens to bad people who try to do bad things to my friends.
While you're at that, would you mind telling a story about Sigrun?
So I would like to try to grab the shadowy figure as I'm going to tell a story.
Tell the story, and then I will
Okay.
tell you what your grab roll is supposed to be.
Okay.
Crook, the most important muscle here is your heart.
Shut up. He stands there closer to the fire now, even as it's guttering. Once upon a time, there was a man with no friends. And he wondered whether anyone could be friends with a nightmare. It was something that was just disturbing and wrong. And he's sitting in this coffee bar, and there's this woman shuffling her cards. She deals out a card, another and another, and the man isn't paying that much attention. He's kind of a dumbass. Then she looks up at him and says, I like things that are disturbing and wrong. I wouldn't worry too much about it. And that's why I'm going to drag you by your face away from this fire.
I would like you to roll me. Let's go. Let me look at your sheet. This is a weird situation because you want to get you want to get physical with him. Let's go charisma and intimidation.
Do either of my specialties for those apply?
Yeah, pick one.
Okay. I fail.
Ugh. What is happening? Okay. I can't even help you because that really should have been a difficulty 5 like everybody else's was, and I just forgot to tell you, but it doesn't make a difference. Okay. You tell this story and you reach out to try and grab this figure. And your hands pass through it, but you get as that happens, your knuckles and the joints in your hands feel stiff and almost swollen. Just during the moments where they pass through this kind of shadowy, dark figure's body. And you realize that somehow this thing can affect everything around you, but you can't affect it, as if it is inexorable, as if it will go on regardless of how hard you fight against it.
The books and scrolls it's grabbing, are they on a table?
It's kind of grabbing from all over the place. There's some that are on a table. There's some that are on shelves. It's kind of surrounded by things it can grab from. You have the... Actually, can you make me an intelligence and kenning roll? Difficulty 6.
No.
Oh. Okay. That's a botch. You don't know what is going on with the figure that you are unable to do what you need to do. Rowan,
Yes.
I have not made you roll for everybody else's stories because they rolled really well. You are going to have to roll to see if you can save Crook's story and make it count towards the effort.
I was just going to offer to do that.
This is going to be at a difficulty 7. You were at an increased difficulty because he is so far away.
Got it. And sorry, the attribute is still charisma?
Yes.
Okay.
Would I be able to help?
No.
Heck.
This isn't really something you could do much for, so.
I was thinking of unleashing summer and using my flicker flies.
What do those do?
So flicker flies, it provides little lights that float around, and anyone who sees them start to feel the subtle stirrings of an emotion of my choosing.
That's a thought.
And then rolls that take advantage of this emotional resonance enjoy -1 difficulty.
I'm assuming you don't actually want to unleash. You just want to use flicker flies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because unleashing is big magic and could
silly
get
me,
really bad
but
if you roll poorly.
I want to utilize summer to use my flicker
Sure.
flies.
What bunk are you going to do? Or are you not going to use a bunk?
I'm going to use a bunk. I think what I'm going to do. Sorry, I'm trying to get into the essence of summer. I'm going to hum an extremely nostalgic summer bop that was on the radio in like my junior year of high school summer. It was every other song on the radio, but thinking about it brings back a lot of nostalgia, and it's a really good memory. So I hum that as my bunk.
Okay. I will give you a -1 to your difficulty for that. So your die pull is your art plus your lowest rated realm. You are only trying to impact Rowan, so that's just Fae.
So my art plus my realm.
At difficulty 7.
And I'm not nobility, so you only need to use Fey 1.
Yep.
One success.
Okay. Let me get to the right part in the book so that I can look up what the exact effect is.
Oh, I have it written down verbatim.
Okay.
All who are touched directly by their light or who behold that radiance feel subtle stirrings of an emotion of the changeling's choosing, which is anger, melancholy, lost happiness, and so forth. Rolls that take advantage of this emotional resonance enjoy -1 difficulty, and the emotion that I'm going to choose is love and friendship. Like platonic love.
Okay. Friendly love. Take a -1 difficulty to your roll, Rowan,
All right.
as you
and
are surrounded by these like fireflies, these motes of light that are dancing around you.
oh God, do I spend the willpower? It's my last one. I think no, I'm probably going to regret this. Here we go.
Oh,
That's 6 successes.
6
I don't regret it.
successes.
I regret nothing.
You continue to write, and as these flickering lights dance around you, and you listen to Crook's words, and you kind of absorb the meaning of the story and how important it is to him, even though he's not great at expressing himself. You begin to funnel that into the written word, and as you do, you watch as almost like the book takes over writing itself. Your hand can no longer keep up, but the words keep filling the page, and the pages turn and turn and turn, and they begin to flip rapidly in your hands. And you watch as it seems like every page becomes filled with text. You guys are all able to watch as the archive reconstitutes itself. Books repopulate the shelves. Scrolls aren't crumbling anymore. The fire banks, and the dark spectral figure in front of Crook turns towards him, reaches out for a moment, and then disappears. And there's a moment where all of you are just kind of in this glamour-infused setting, kind of unsure if it's over, and then you find yourself underwater again for just a moment, staring at each other with the feeling of love and warmth surrounding you. And then you find yourselves standing on a beach. It is windswept. There are waves crashing against jagged rocks. The wind kind of grabs the hair of the... those of you with longer hair, the wind kind of grabs your hair and kind of pulls at it. It gets in your face. The smell of salt water kind of makes your nose tingle. Georgie, you are staring at a figure that doesn't have a face, who is standing just out of reach in the water. It's holding your skin.
I run after it. I absolutely not.
You run, and somehow, despite the fact that you don't see it moving, it doesn't seem to be walking. It still seems to be moving away from you, no matter how fast you push, no matter how hard you try to get to it. The rest of you watch as Georgie takes off after this figure and is immediately distancing herself from the rest of you. And that is when a voice echoes through everybody's head.
One must not be defined by what they have or have not.
I feel like we have to just stay put before we hear the voice. We've been through this enough. We should know that at this point.
Yes.
Georgie?
It's hard to know it when you're in it.
Mm.
Yeah. Willpower roll. Difficulty 8, please.
Fair enough.
2 successes.
2 successes. You are not completely panicked yet.
It's fine. People have touched my skin before. I have to get it back. And you can hear her, I think, say it as she's running.
I try to go after Georgie. I don't know if I'd be able to catch up. She's much more athletic than he is, but if he can catch up, he'll say, Georgie, the code is important. It absolutely is. But remember that there is more to you than just that.
It doesn't matter. That code is me.
You were a person before that coat. You are a person after that coat. Has Georgie told us the story of how she got the coat?
That is a Georgie question.
Yeah, I'm not there. First of all, it'd be weird if she didn't, considering Rowan likes stories.
Yeah, for sure. So he'll say, think of your grandmother. She continued to be a loving person and able to engage in most of the things that she could do after she gave you the coat, couldn't she?
That's not the point. The point is that she trusted me with it, and that is our legacy.
I'm gonna jog out onto the sand after the two of them and just Gigi? And try and get her to look at her.
Before Elodie jogs forward, I want to try to see if Sigrun can sneak some sand into her pockets.
Okay.
The
I
vengeance
hate
the
sand.
vengeance
It's
is still
coarse
there.
and gritty
The
and it
vengeance
gets
is still-
everywhere.
The vengeance still needs to be fulfilled.
I didn't understand what Sigrun just said because people were yelling. What did you say?
The vengeance still needs to be fulfilled.
That's fair.
I will ask later. Vengeance for what?
Let's make it dexterity and stealth.
For not answering her questions.
That's what?
She's a very petty lady. Which dexterity and stealth?
Yep. Dexterity, stealth, difficulty 6.
As a reminder, Sigrun did ask, "Why are you pouting?" and Elodie ignored her.
No, I remember that. She didn't ignore her. She just chose not to answer.
And that's a slight that needs to be avenged.
Roll the dice.
3 and sacrifice. Damn it.
Elodie, there's a hand in your pocket.
I smack her. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I almost drowned. What are you doing?
Georgia's down the beach.
Yeah, Georgie is still running. Poor Rowan is desperately trying to keep up. What is Crook doing?
Remember your grandmother.
Well, I'm so excited because I do cardio. I'm going to outpace this man in an instant.
Crook starts walking after Georgie and the coat thief.
Just walking, that's all you're doing?
So far.
Okay. Georgie, the figure that has your coat is, no one else can hear this, and you're not aware that they can't hear it, but you can. They're laughing. And you can hear them teasing you. Poor little girl. Didn't know who she was until she had it. Now that she doesn't have it, she doesn't know who she is anymore. Couldn't live up to it anyway.
I'm about to do something real stupid unless unless I'm stopped again.
Would
Oh,
I
fuck, I
have enough
can't.
time?
No, I can't do it. Wait. Hold on. This figure has my coat. It is not on me, correct?
It is not on you.
I can't do magic.
Nope.
I think Georgie tries, though.
Nothing happens. Instinctively, you try to call on your glamour, and then you realize you don't have your coat, and nothing happens.
Okay, I have a thought. Everyone has run ahead of me. So
Well,
windswept beat,
Except Sigrun.
except Sigrun. Crook licks his thumb, kind of tests the air, crouches down. 1, 2, boo. And I'd like to use Wayfarer to try and leap in front of the coat thief.
okay. A fairly simple bunk like that, I'll give you a -1 to your difficulty.
And I will spend a point of willpower. Which is good, because that's my only success. That will be a 30-foot jump.
You get closer. Georgie, unfortunately, is still chasing it, so it hasn't stopped moving.
Hey, give it to me. She can't have it. Give it to me.
You can't tell if it doesn't hear you or if it's just ignoring you.
Okay.
I'm still running after Georgie, trying to get her to stop for 2 seconds.
Georgie,
Yeah.
are you still chasing? Are you paying attention to the people around you? What are you doing?
I'm panicking.
Okay, what does that mean? I'm
Yeah, I
panicking
think-
doesn't tell me what you're
No,
doing.
I'm trying to decide if she's noticed that it'll stop if she stops. I think just for
You didn't fail your willpower roll, so you're not so freaked out that I'm taking away your ability to like stop and test things.
yeah, I think George will stop running for a second and just like drop to the sand for a bit.
It stops.
'Cause, beach run.
Frickin' beach run, man.
It stops when you stop.
I'm going to drop down onto the sand next to Georgie when I'm able to catch up. And I'm going to place myself between her and the figure. Gigi, I need you to look at me.
What, Elodie?
You don't need it. And I really need you to hear me when I say that. You don't. It didn't make you. You made it.
Elodie?
I know that makes no sense, but you need to listen to me because you are one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Elodie, I don't think you get it. you and everyone else in our motley is born with their nature in them. This is different. That is me.
You don't understand, Georgie.
No, you don't understand. You're not going to understand.
You know how jealous I am of you all of the time? How jealous I am that this is something that you could choose to put down if you wanted to. You can put the coat down. And you're still you. You still have everything. And you have us. I don't understand. But I hope you can see. I hope you can see what you are. And it has nothing to do with the coat. Anything that's worth having is not something that can be taken away from you. And I'm gonna crush her in a big hug.
Georgie?
Yes.
Would you like to tell us what's going through your head right now as Elodie pours herself out to you?
Elodie is naive and a childling and doesn't get it. This is the biggest responsibility you can be given, and when you take it on, it is not just disappointing you, it is or yourself or whatever promises you've made to yourself. It is disappointing your entire family line, and that and for George, it is worse than that because it is 2 family lines of Selkies. And everything that her grandmother said about her older sister being boring or expecting it, and it just stumbling into her hands feels a little like it rings true to what Elodie said. Because she always liked listening to her grandmother's stories before she expected to get the coat.
Roll me perception and kenning.
One success.
You don't have the coat, but as your mind goes through this process, starting with Elodie being naive and not understanding and never being able to understand, and then ending with maybe this all sort of lines up with what she's saying. You feel the barely there, it's almost like a memory of the weight of your leather jacket around your shoulders.
What the figure was saying, only Georgie could hear that, or
Only Georgie could hear it.
Only Georgie could hear it.
Crook is going to pass by the 2 figures in the sand. One of you catch Rowan, he's about to fall over. And
Hello?
approach the coat thief while Georgie is being still and let Rowan catch up to them.
Okay. The figure is standing there. You get about 10, 15 steps past Elodie and Georgie, and you realize that no matter how many steps you take forward at this point, you can't get any physically closer.
Fuck you and your riddles. All you want to do is poke at our core, at the things that hurt us and make us go, oh no, you're right. Fuck you and your riddles.
Rowan's crawling through the sand towards
All right.
Elodie and Georgie
All
by
right,
now.
no, stop. Come on. Help.
Sigrun has
Thank
no
you.
strength, but she's good. She'll try to help, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on. Take your time.
Okay.
Take a breath. See, this is why I just walk. Let the faster people handle it. It's okay. We can just walk.
Right.
Georgie, I need you to feel what you need to feel, but I need you. No. Don't even think about me. Don't think about any of us. Think about you. Don't think about a family or a legacy or anything but you. Because you are not the coat.
I am made of legacy. I literally steward old art and make it and repair it and conserve it. That's just me.
As we catch up to the two of them on the beach, Rowan says, that responsibility was given to you, wasn't it? By your grandmother?
Yes, and every second I fuck up, I'm disappointing all of them.
Not really where I'm going with this. She offered that to you freely. Did you offer that coat to that one? And I point to the figure.
No. Rowan, do you know about Saki stories?
I don't think I do. Please enlighten me.
It is possibly the worst thing you can do. Is to have someone take your coat.
Does it hold true in these stories that if somebody takes a Selkie coat, that they are not deserving of that coat?
You might as well not. That's the Fey soul. That is
I
the
mean,
thing that we take care of.
I'm sorry. did not communicate myself clearly. Is the thief deserving of the coat?
Of course not. He doesn't have to be. I'm the idiot for losing it.
Then in this test, that thief is not entitled to the coat and should not have it.
Rowan?
I look up with an accusing glare at the figure as I say this.
Rowan,
Yes.
make me an intelligence and enigmas roll. Do you have enigmas?
I have 1 dot.
Intelligence and enigmas. Sigrun can also make this roll.
Would a creative specialty fall into this?
What's your specialty?
I have an intelligence specialty of creative.
Yes, I'll allow it.
Brilliant.
Standard difficulty?
Yes, ma'am.
3.
That's 2 for me.
Rowan, and Sigrun both kind of realized this at the same time. Rowan was so close with the approach that he was taking. When he was talking about the coat being given to Georgie. Georgie isn't who and what she is because of the coat. Georgie has the coat because of who and what she is, and who and what she was before it was ever given to her. She was chosen out of order in her family line for a reason, and it was because of who she was.
Sigrun kind of just nudges Rowan to the side a bit. Hold on. I got this.
I move aside.
Georgina.
What?
First of all, don't take that tone with me. I don't like it. Second, you were the
Sorry.
youngest, correct?
I am
Or
kind
one
of
of the youngest.
Yes.
Why did she give you the coat outside of all of your older sisters?
Because Phoebe is boring. And Becca deserves it. I think she deserves it.
All right. Take that mindset then. Why do you think your grandmother gave it to you? If she believed one was boring and one believed that she thought that and the other was too in her own ego to have it, why you and not any of the others?
Because I cared.
Exactly. The coat is given to those who deserve it, who embody it, who treasure it, not because it is ingrained in your destiny, not because some other thing says it. It's because of who you are that it was given to you. You were Georgina before the coat, and the coat came to you because you are Georgina.
Georgie.
Georgie's considering this.
So in that same way, that figure, are they deserving of your coat?
No.
Then they will not have it. Do not force it. The coat will come back to who it belongs to.
How are you feeling, Georgie?
Bad. Better.
How,
Bad.
how are you feeling about what was said to you? Do you believe her?
There's this. It's hard because George loves logic. But also, yeah, she believes it. There's a part of her that wants to point out that she was named after her grandfather, which means even that is part of her legacy.
You made the name yours. Secret's gonna yell as loud as she can. You're
Which is
looking
not
at
loud
this
at
lady,
all.
which is not loud. She wants to shake you so bad, but she's trying to be calm.
You should probably shake her a little.
Crook walks
You
up
feel her
behind the
vibrate.
Crook walks up behind the pet and get up.
What? What?
Get on your feet.
And yeah, George will stand.
Look at me.
What, Crook?
We were standing on the battlefield. You pointed at one of the helmets, went, "Ooh, that's a basket helm." You did that. The coat know it was a basket helm? Or did you because you went to fucking school?
Yes, it's because I went to school.
We're at home. You discover some truths about what's going on around us because you stood outside and made Elodie plunge a fucking Minecraft sword into a snowdrift. Coat do that? Or did you do that?
I did.
He leans in real close. And did you or the coat whisper in my ear while I was asleep?
I'm panicking.
I have a question. Is Georgie blushing?
Hopefully you can't tell because we've just been running.
You've been stationary for a little while, Boo Boo.
I'm begging you to let me see if I'm getting this.
Anyone other than Crook and Georgie is welcome to make me a perception and empathy check.
I will elect not to because it is dawning on Rowan that his test is next, and he's starting to get in his own head about that.
Okay.
That's 3 successes.
Oh yeah, Georgie and Sigrun, you both see the blush. You don't know what was said. Sigrun, you hear and did you whisper to me or whatever? But you don't know what it was about?
Yeah.
But you could absolutely see Georgie's eyes go just a little bit wide and her cheeks go pink.
Answer my question.
Yes.
You carry an ocean of history inside you, not just your families, but everything you learned, everything you gobbled up book after book after book. You inspire. You even care. The rest of us had these things thrown on us because that's who we are. You were chosen because that's who you are.
Georgie,
Yeah.
how do you feel?
And the answer. Oh, and the answer. Yeah. And he walks away.
Georgie? Take a glamour, a point of glamour. And I am putting a monologue token on you.
Hold on, I'm gonna puke.
Sigrun just watched that entire exchange and I was like, there's enough of a secret that I know, but not enough, and I'm so confused.
Your slew-on nature is just like, but I need the secrets. This isn't fair.
What is happening? What is happening here?
I do in fact have the curious flaw, so this is gonna haunt me for a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Luckily, there's not the curious flaw to really reel that in, but like, ugh.
I'm gonna have to do a willpower roll later.
All right, Georgie.
I'm gonna puke.
Do it, you'll feel better.
Hey, what? Okay. Yeah, Georgie, is truly just, unsure how to handle this situation. When Georgie and Crook met, there was, like, they're friends. It's fine. They're friends. But, like, he is a secret and, like, not even like an enigma, but just like, there's something every time we interact, there's something underneath what he says or does, and you just gotta know, right? Like, he's so closed off, and she's pretty sure it was curiosity and in the just natural need to figure people out, and that's it. That's definitely what it was. For sure, that's 100% what it was, nothing else. And so, like, it's and part of figuring, maybe you just think about people a lot when you are figuring them out. Yep, that's 1,000% what that is. And besides, it's totally fine because like, I like uh, Carter's super cute, and Carter's also hard to figure out, and so, like, obviously we should